you are not allowed to film inside a police precinct. You could be subject to arrest for trespassing. Okay, so if you're recording inside a police precinct, you are subject to trespassing.
You got ID on you?
It is a bad problem.
I need to see your ID, man. Sorry, I need to see your ID.
What can I do for you, Officer Cronister?
He's not answering questions right now.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Why is that? You speak for him?
Oh, right now, yes. This is my phone.
You're gonna get taught a lesson on the First Amendment.
You're gonna get taught a lesson in the First Amendment. First Amendment is supposed to show your faith. The reason you're disguising yourself is the reason for that. Okay? You're coming in here harassing me, terrorizing me. You're a terrorist.
You won't believe what happens in today's video. Citizens simply standing and filming, exercising a constitutional right, are immediately threatened, overpowered, and even forcibly removed by the police. They committed no crime, yet they were treated like criminals. Is this due to ignorance of the law, or are officers deliberately trampling on civil rights? One thing's for sure, you won't regret watching this video. Like the video to stand up for freedom, and subscribe if you're new. Now, let's witness these intense confrontations. Security cameras are everywhere inside police stations, yet a single small camera from an auditor becomes a major problem for an NYPD lieutenant.
I'm going to check the precinct cameras. If I see that you are filming, I'm going to ask you to leave. If you don't want to leave...
Today's video begins at NYPD's 121st Precinct in Staten Island. A citizen arrives and peacefully exercises his right to film in a public space. But instead of being left alone, he is stopped due to a sign prohibiting filming inside the building. This raises an important question. Can a sign override the Constitution? And when confronted with the very laws they are sworn to uphold, how will the police react? Pay close attention, because what's about to happen will definitely surprise you.
Alright guys, so before we go inside the 121st Precinct here, let's take a look around at some of the vehicles, pairs that are outside here. So this is NYPD police. That's not safe. I should probably get that fixed.
Can I help you? Sir? Why are you trying to check the cars if they're open?
Can I help you with anything, sir?
I'm asking you, can I help you?
I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, sir.
I just saw you touching the back door of that car. Why are you messing with this armpit? Wait.
Lieutenant Conway?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't need any help, Lieutenant.
Okay, thank you.
Can I touch the car?
Because I don't know if you're trying to break in and steal something. Okay.
Why would I break into a vehicle?
I don't know.
That's not my intention here.
But,
I'm just checking to make sure everything's okay.
Awesome. I appreciate your help.
You take care. So this is the lieutenant's vehicle over here. You can see the lights right over here. Just taking a look at the vehicles. What's the big deal? There's nothing wrong with that, Lieutenant, is there?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy? You can't record in here. There's a sign right there that says, please shut the audio recorder off.
Did I say it was on?
You're recording.
Do you have probable cause to search my property, sir?
What?
To search my property?
Warrant?
Yeah, do you have
What does that sign say? You have your phone out, it's facing me.
But does that mean that I'm recording?
Yeah, let my boss handle it.
Okay. I just want to make, like you said, I don't want you filming out there, okay,
yeah,
but it's prohibited
to begin with.
Okay.
You made that assumption.
But again, you're holding a phone up as you're mimicking a recording. I'm just letting you know if trespassing, and I'm just advising you're not allowed to record inside a police precinct.
But no one said I was recording.
Cannot record inside a police precinct. Okay, you're holding up a phone, mimicking as if you're recording.
But
there isn't. You're right. But if you are not allowed to film inside a police precinct, you could be subject to arrest for trespassing. You are subject to trespassing. You're subjected
but
to.
Do you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I'm committing a crime?
I'm telling you, I don't want any issues with you.
I don't want any issues with you either, Lieutenant.
This is the deal. I told you.
See
I
here?
have every right to film outside.
I have every right to film inside if I wanted to, but I'm not saying that.
Okay, to film inside of a police precinct.
That's not a law, sir.
You are not allowed to film inside of a police precinct. You are not allowed to film inside of a police precinct.
He's filming inside of the police precinct right now, and I'm sure you are too.
I am. I'm active on my body wall camera. Police precinct. We're going to ask you to leave. Okay.
But who said I was filming?
Just hold on. Just hear me out for a second.
I'm gonna hear you out. Sure.
If you're filming, to leave. Okay. By you holding up your phone like this,
Well, that would
So
be making
I'm-
a huge assumption because
I'm-
there was a woman 2 years ago that had her arm broken for filming inside the police station. She wasn't. She was just saying, so maybe I'm just holding the
So,
camera up,
again,
my phone up just because I want
If you're
to.
filming, I'm going to ask. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you any questions.
Okay, great.
I'm just
Perfect.
telling you.
Whoa. I hope I'm not the only one noticing the irony in the lieutenant's reasoning here. He forbids citizens from filming inside the station, yet to verify whether the person is actually recording, he uses the station's own cameras to check. If that isn't the perfect example of the double standard, where the government can film us however they want, but when we do the same for transparency, they always have a problem with it. I don't know what is.
Filming.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to leave. If you don't want to leave, you're going to be subject to arrest for trespassing.
Lieutenant, wait, can we just agree on something, Lieutenant? Holding my phone to my chest, it doesn't mean that I'm recording, correct?
Gesturing as if you're recording.
But that doesn't mean that I am.
But again, this is a normal stance that everybody takes when they're recording.
Could hold their phone in this
That's fine. I'm just
manner
telling you,
without
I'm
recording,
going
though.
to check the precinct
Sure, go
cameras.
ahead, check them.
If
I don't see how you would tell from the cameras if I'm filming or not.
There are cameras everywhere in this building. I'm
Yeah.
going to check the precinct cameras.
Sure.
If you are indeed filming, you're not in trouble, you're not under arrest, I'm just going to ask you to leave.
Okay,
That's it.
I just don't see how you
That's
know
it.
I'm
gonna
filming
ask you
or
to
not.
leave. Subject to arrest.
Oh, I've been arrested. I've been arrested for filming in the police department before. I'm just saying that there's
Again,
nothing.
if you want-
Yeah, we had enough interaction at this point, and you're threatening arrest and things. So I want to make sure that I know who
I'm
you
not
are.
threatening. You could be subject to arrest for.
But wait, hypothetically, hypothetically, Lieutenant, hypothetically, our prohibited from recording. So I'm telling you, I'm holding my phone to my chest. I don't answer any questions above that. But how would you stop them from doing that? Would that be breaking the law, Lieutenant? Of your sign here, because if somebody came in here secretly recording, which is the person that would want to do more damage would probably do. There's nothing illegal about secretly recording, correct?
So to answer your question, someone was recording if they were secretly recording. So
And then they go
you're-
post that video online. Could you do anything about it?
So
That's what I'm saying. That sign is
I
silly.
understand the
It's just
point-
silly,
the
sir.
point you're trying to make, because technically, no, it's not. If you're doing it inside of a police precinct and we advise you to leave, you could be subject to arrest.
In public.
Not for filming per se. There's no charge for filming.
No, I'm aware of that. But that's what I'm saying is that the sign is kind of like, hey, if you're openly filming, we're going to tell you to leave a public lobby, which you have every right to stance. I have a right to be here, correct?
Yeah.
But you're saying because if I was filming, but that seems disingenuous because you're saying that if I secretly record,
There's no way of me knowing that you're secretly
Can't
recording.
determine if you're secretly recording.
and you can't determine if I'm recording.
Like I said, I want to
The
give you
reasonable
assuming you're
suspicion
not.
of what?
I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt.
But you
Assuming
need to
you're
have.
not.
But wait, reasonable suspicion, officer, of a crime.
Inside of
Wrong.
a police station.
Wrong.
It is.
He just told you that it wasn't.
Like that.
He just told you. The lieutenant just said that it wasn't.
It is.
No, it's not. You're wrong. The lieutenant just said that it's not a crime to film inside of a police station. Take your contact information. He just said that. Are you paying attention to this conversation or not? Because that's what he just said. That sign is not a law. No, it's not a law in this building. That's ridiculous to even say.
So
What's going on, man?
That's ridiculous.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're
again,
escalating the situation.
I just asked again. If you're not here for a sec, again, I'm not going to. Let me do my thing, okay? Recording. If there's a camera capturing your recording device actually in progress, either stop recording. If you don't want to stop recording, I'll ask you to leave. At that point, I'm not threatening arrest on you. I'm just telling you. I'm advising you.
I just don't see how you
can be
determine
subject to
that.
arrest for criminal trespass.
I understand what you're
understand where
saying.
I'm coming from? I'm not trying to
I understand what.
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat you in the same return.
appreciate that.
Your officer, not so much, but I will just say that there is taking my property, and you, Lieutenant, know you can't take my property, right?
Absolutely, you're 100% right.
Because like I just explained to this officer, a reasonable suspicion that I was recording, which you probably do, right? You probably have a reasonable suspicion I'm recording. So that's why I'm trying to say that means you can't take my phone from me right now and check, right?
Exactly.
That's the silliness, Lieutenant.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
I understand that you didn't make the policy and really did take an oath to uphold our constitutional rights.
100%.
So-
and I take that very serious.
I hope you do.
Take it very. Again, I want you to be able to do your thing in the most respectful manner possible. I'm in no way trying to obstruct you. Again, we just have our policies. I have to adhere to it, and
Maybe enough people. We the people can affect change. But again,
so,
I just like to hold my phone this way, and that's all I'm going to say about it. You know.
other notes. Do you have anything that you need to like?
Can I get a complaint form actually? how ridiculous it is. Members of the public are prohibited photography inside this facility. How ridiculous.
Again, I just want to let you know again, this is being recorded on body-worn camera.
Sure.
So suspicion that you are recording, I'm going to ask you in the most respectful way. You're not under arrest. I'm just asking you to leave the precinct.
For what reasonable suspicion do you have?
You are up to your chest, pointing it for an extended period of time, leading me to believe that you are recording inside of
Steals it.
Sir?
That's people speak to themselves all the time, officer.
Give me a second.
Complaint form?
I'm gonna
Because now I need one.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
Can we make a deal?
If you-
I will leave as soon as you give me on my complaint form. You're not going to deny me services,
I will
Lieutenant?
facilitate whatever complaint you want to make. Whatever complaint you want to make, I will facilitate that for you.
But I never said that I was.
I'm just then you're holding your phone up.
But is it illegal to hold your phone this way, sir?
Believe.
But if I held my phone like this, like a normal person, and I was still recording, it wouldn't make any
Here's the
difference.
thing. I think give me a minute to talk. Let me say what I got to say. I promise you, I will hear everything you have to say. Talking to each other. So you're holding your phone up in a manner that you are recording inside of a police precinct. Formally, the manner in which you're acting, in which you're holding up your phone, I'm asking you to stop doing that. I'm going to tell you, please stop pointing your camera towards this precinct. It's leading me to believe that you are recording inside of a police precinct.
But you have no reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime, sir. I'm not fully, and I'm asking for a complaint form, and I will be on my way. If you can grab me a complaint form, I will be on my way.
For what? What do you
Because you're assuming now I'm gonna file a formal complaint against yourself without any sort of proof that I'm recording. You have no proof. You have a hunch.
Sir, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you to leave the precinct, okay? I'm going to ask you to leave the precinct. Can you leave the precinct? Because you're recording inside of I have reasonable suspicion that you are recording inside of a police precinct.
Okay, so you're going to bring me the complaint form outside? No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you.
I'm
What are you doing?
right now
Escalating.
to leave the precinct.
So I will leave the precinct. You will arrest me, Lieutenant? Is that what you're telling
If you
me?
do not leave the precinct right now, you will be arrested for criminal trespass.
Can you bring me?
If you do not leave
Can you bring me the
precinct
complaint
right
form outside?
now, whatever it is you want, I'm asking.
Can you bring me the complaint form outside? Bring me the complaint form outside. You're ejecting me from a precinct. You're ejecting me from a here. I'm here to file a complaint.
Okay, I appreciate you leaving the precinct. Okay, again, you're not allowed to record inside of a police precinct. Okay.
GARDA 22317.
3 officers eject a citizen from the station just for filming in a public area. What do you think? At first, the lieutenant seemed friendly toward the public, but his obsession with enforcing policy led him to make a serious mistake. And if you look at Officer Garda's smug reaction at the end of the video, I hope you see just how serious this is, when police are willing to ignore the law to violate citizens' rights. Oh. Silent audit outside a bank in Missouri. Police flustered when they can't flex their authority.
It's fine if you don't want to speak to me, but you got a driver's license on you so I can at least identify you and say I talked to you per my policy.
Next, we move on to a silent audit outside a bank in Jefferson County, Missouri. A citizen stands on a public sidewalk filming, exercising his legal right, but instead of being respected, he's met with suspicious looks, and almost immediately, the bank calls the police. And as for how the officers handle this situation, well, let's just say they prove themselves to be nothing more than power-hungry bullies. Will the citizen let them strip away his rights so easily, or will the officers be the ones walking away in defeat? Let's watch.
Can I ask what you're doing? What are you taking pictures of? No? I was just curious why you were taking pictures. Why pictures? Thank you.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
What's going on, bro, man? I'm Officer Hoffman, Jefferson City Police Department. You know why I'm contacting you? Yeah, we can play a silent game, man. I'm trying to contact you. You have every right to record me. I want your... So the thing is, man, business called. They say you're taking pictures. They track you and being really cooperative with them. Is there any reason why you'd be taking pictures of the business? At all? Anything? You got an ID on you? I didn't see your ID, man. Do you need a language translator at all? Are you able to speak English, or do you have to speak a different language?
I mean, it's ridiculous watching police act like complete fools just because someone is holding a camera in public, asking for ID. But what's the crime? There is none. So quit wasting time with this nonsense. Go do some real police work instead.
The thing is, they doesn't want you here. It's okay. You don't have to talk to me. But business wants you moved on. You're taking videos and pictures. I'm more willing to work with you if you talk to me. They want you moved on. You understand? You just can't be here.
How you doing?
Not talking.
Not talking? Okay, man. Hey, they want you moved on, okay? Where's the caller at inside?
Yeah, they should be inside. It's fine if you don't want to speak to me. If I say I talk to you per my policy. Like a ID. Can you hear? No, like, are you able to hear what I'm saying? Like,
even with the groceries, so she buys most of the groceries, and I just so it works out. It works out.
so you can hear what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying to you? Ben, man, I can't do that per my policy. I can't give you my items and tools I use for work. I can't do that. You'd have to use your phone. I can't give you the tools I work with. I apologize.
We'll give Sergeant Bickle a call real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. You're saying to us, but he's answering yes or no to like stuff I write down.
He is? Okay.
Yeah. I can't give you my equipment. I can't. Hey. These, you can't go in there. You can go that way or that way.
Hey, you're good to stand here, okay? Just don't harass them in there, okay? All right? Like I said, don't be following them. Don't do anything weird like that, okay? But you can stand right here. Just don't go in there.
I can't give you my equipment, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that, okay? Are you deaf?
My equipment.
Okay. I won't tell them that.
Okay.
Is he deaf? Are you deaf? Are you hard of hearing?
I can't give you my equipment.
Try to ask him if he's deaf. Let's go right down and ask him.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I told you several times they don't want to be recorded. I don't know. He keeps trying to record. They don't press charges.
All right, man.
They don't want to be. Can't do nothing.
Like I said, it's not illegal to be just stuff like this. So. Or you want to?
I can type it.
Is he deaf?
I don't know. He still hasn't talked to me, and I'm not gonna give him pen and paper. So.
So after asking all sorts of questions, demanding ID, checking his identity, even questioning his ability to hear and speak, the police ultimately accomplished nothing, except quietly walking away. A simple test, yet enough to expose how lost they are when facing a citizen who knows the law and won't be intimidated. It seems like respecting constitutional rights is still too much of a challenge for them. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Was troll. Unlawful arrest for standing on a public sidewalk and refusing to provide a social security number.
Right now
Okay.
you are being detained, so you are not free
I
to
am
leave.
detained? Okay.
You are 100% detained.
What crime did I commit?
We're investigating a trespassing. If
You. Alright, let's move on to another situation, one I bet is even more absurd, at the Farmer's Wife Dispensary, a medical and recreational cannabis store located at 2935 East Chestnut Expressway, Springfield, Missouri. A citizen stands on the sidewalk outside the store, filming, but guess what happens next? But nothing new. More ridiculous interference, this time with the excuse that he's violating HIPAA and isn't allowed to record.
Sir, you need to leave. I'm gonna call the police if you don't get off of our property.
Okay, it's open to the public. You can call whoever you want,
Okay.
ma'am.
I will, thank you.
All right. If they're coming, I'll stick around, but if they're not, I'll go ahead and leave.
Is there something I can help you with?
No, I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, so soliciting
What's your name?
and
Ashley?
I don't believe that's for HIPAA. This is a
medical?
yeah, and I
get that.
is there something I can help you with or
No,
anything?
but I'll want the information. I'm not part of the medical
Correct,
field.
yeah, but just
So
out
I
of
don't have to obey HIPAA.
Okay, yeah, just out of
Done. Did y'all call the police?
I haven't called anybody. I just out of courtesy, I was curious if you wouldn't mind to take a break.
Fair
Okay,
enough.
What news source are you with?
I'm independent.
Independent.
Mhm.
Okay, and what's the story over? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I will have to ask you, I'm not trying to be rude, but it is considered soliciting to be outside of a business and...
Selling anything. I'm not asking for anything.
Okay, so
I'm
this...
simply exercising my First Amendment right.
But this is private property.
Right, but you don't own it.
Do you need the face of the person who owns it?
But I will.
Okay, I can make that happen if that's what you need. Okay.
Up to you.
This woman clearly doesn't like people who know and exercise their constitutional rights, because as you can see, she pulls out every excuse from HIPAA violations to claiming the sidewalk is private property just to stop the filming. Instead of contacting the property owner to clarify, she goes straight inside to call armed officers. And just like that, we witness yet another case of blatant police overreach.
Jimmy, how are you?
All right, how are you?
Hey, not too bad. Go ahead and keep your hands out of your pockets. So you're in front of the store, just for I
right.
can't see your hands, so you can hang out there, you're fine.
Okay.
Jimmy, while you're recording them, you're running.
I'm not going to answer it until it's published.
Okay, I get it. I'm sure there's a lot of competition for this kind of stuff.
I'm not going to answer any questions.
Okay. Well, Jimmy, here's the thing. So this is private property. This, though,
Open to the public. This whole
Alright.
sidewalk is.
So Jimmy, here's the thing. So your is open to the public,
Mhm.
you are right. But this business is a private business, right?
The curtilage ends at the door. I did my research.
Okay.
This sidewalk's open to the public to use.
Okay. So here's the thing. So this is private property. You're right. It is a public business where people can do. But this private business also has asked that they don't want you on their property. So don't go into the store. Now, this whole separate property, what we'll do too is they also don't want you on that property, okay? Different than that sidewalk out there. So if you want to go to that sidewalk in the grass, go for it.
Did the property,
yep.
Who asked him?
It doesn't matter.
Who solicited the trespass?
If you'd like.
That matters.
It sure does.
Number
1918. So
1918.
just like you, I'm recording, and I was actually recording even before you knew I got here. So, laws.
Okay, well the law says...
This is an ordinance, it's a city ordinance, so laws are, like I said, I don't want you to be making this worse than it really needs to be. So
okay,
you can record it on that sidewalk over there. That's a public. You're allowed to be there, stay on the sidewalk, do what you need to do. But this property, it's a private business.
The whole...
Yeah, so this property right here is a little bit different. So they're obviously a marijuana dispensary, ship rights to extend beyond the business. And this is just passed along from the business owner. So ultimately, what owner wants to pursue charges, which they do, if you don't leave, they are willing to sign a summons to go to, they'll have to go to court, and then you'll have to go to court.
Right.
That summons would be a chance for all this to get fought out.
Okay.
So do whatever you need to do, and you might be able to avoid some court.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Will you arrest me if I don't leave this publicly?
It's publicly accessible, but it's not publicly owned, just like that sidewalk.
It's
correct. It is publicly accessible, but it is private property. The deal.
I think he needs a test. Here's a...
I just need to know, if you say you'll arrest me if I don't leave,
Let's get it sorted. Okay, right now you are being detained, so you are not free
I
to
am
leave.
detained? Okay.
You are 100% detained.
What crime did I commit?
Back and forth about the property lines, I'm going to go off of good faith and say that you're not allowed to be here. I'm going off the homeowner, you see business owner. You're in front of this sidewalk. This is not a private property.
Okay. Besides all that...
So right now you are being detained.
Okay.
You're not under arrest.
Getting a trespass. I haven't been trespassed.
You don't have to be trespassed.
Yes, you do, sir. You can only detain me if I come back. Okay, I'll wait until it's sorted out.
Hey, no worries. But like I said, you're not free to leave.
All right.
Okay?
Chronos. 1926.
They said that all this sidewalk was up to that property, so just finding out. But then he is being detained, he knows his he's not answering questions right now.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Why is that? You speak for him? Can I get a call number?
What do you mean?
Can I get a call number?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to get you an instant number as soon as we're done with this, okay?
Group.
Hey, sir, while we're investigating past those
He's not
bylaws,
detained.
okay? He's not?
Nope.
But if he's in the way where he takes away attention,
He's
it's
not bothering
obstructing. You can stay there.
You
But
can
don't
stand
come
anywhere
closer,
you
okay?
want.
That's not true. That's obstructing.
No,
and I would
it's
hate
not.
for your, I don't know if this is, I'd hate for him to also get in trouble while you're doing your documentary.
Obstructing's physical.
Sir?
Right? No, I'm telling you how it is.
I was going to say, since you didn't want to answer any questions, I didn't want to like blur the lines.
So I'll answer a few.
Okay.
But since it's not consensual.
See here right now, just because you are being detained, if you're being investigated for a crime, let me just get some information from you here.
No.
Jimmy, are you failing to identify yourself while you're being investigated for a crime?
If I'm lawfully arrested.
Springfield, it doesn't have to be an arrest. So if it's a lawful detention, arrest, or stop, you do have to identify it. But you do have to identify yourself as a suspect of this trespassing that we're investigating, okay?
I don't have to help you with your investigation. What's
That's
that?
a legal requirement. You have to identify yourself.
I can remain silent, right?
Yep. For self-incrimination, but investigation.
Am I being arrested?
You're being detained.
Will you arrest me if I don't identify?
Yes.
You will?
Yes, sir. You will be under arrest.
To identify.
You do have to identify
No,
yourself.
you don't. That's why I'm doing this. To train y'all better.
You have to identify yourself.
I haven't trespassed.
You are trespassing on this private property.
No, it's not.
This is private property.
It's private, open to the public. Need to know.
We deal with this pretty often.
I'm done with you. You're dismissed.
He's still going to be here, but you don't have to talk to him. For information, we can positively identify you. Okay. How do you spell your first name, sir?
Jimmy.
How do you spell your last name?
What's your first name?
I don't have to give you that, Jimmy.
Well, I'm willing to exchange. I'm willing to give it to you.
Okay. Give me your information, or you're going to go in handcuffs and you're going to go to jail.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's Haig. A-G, 2 A's.
Okay. And Jimmy, what's your birthday?
7/18/68.
Your social?
I'm not
Or
giving
your
you
driver's
that.
license number?
Okay. I don't have to give you that.
Hey, Jimmy, you're under arrest.
I'm under arrest?
Arrested for standing in a publicly accessible area and refusing to provide a social security number. The officers kept asking for all sorts of information to issue a trespass order. But let's not forget, trespassing only occurs when someone remains on private property after being asked to leave by the owner. In this case, property ownership was unclear, and there was no order from the owner to leave. So what do you think? Darren loses his mind over a camera in public, gets educated.
But you show your face. Oh, here we go. Show your face, buddy. Why don't you do that?
Now for the final scenario in today's video, taking place at a Metro customer service office. This time, a citizen exercises his right to film in public, only to be aggressively confronted by a man who keeps calling him a coward and even labels him a terrorist just for wearing a face covering while recording. Security then steps in and confirms that filming in public is legal, but the tension continues. Will rights be respected? Let's find out.
Come back, everyone. I guess I didn't learn from last time. I didn't learn a bit.
That means you're up for something. You must be a perpetrator. Why you cover your face up?
Covering his face, you must be a perpetrator.
You covering your face for a reason. Take off that stuff so I can see who you are. You must be a coward, right? You are a coward. Show your face. You don't scare me. Hold on, you get a picture of me. Look at you. I'm not dealing with a coward.
You're up to no good. Can you believe that? Comment down below. What do you think?
You're a coward, dude. But you show your face. Show your face, buddy. Why don't you do that? Show your face. I got my face. Take off the glasses off. Show your face. There we go. What you got? Sent this to the community, to my community, matter of fact. Show your face. You do that? Of course you're not going to show your face because you're scared. You don't have no balls. You have no balls. You're a coward.
He's scared of a camera, everyone.
Show your face. You show your face. You come over here and harass me. They sent you in here. Okay, who you working for? Who is this guy? I'm over here filling my paperwork out. I got a guy with pointing cameras at me. What?
One is recording each other.
Well, exactly. You got somebody come here and start recording me out doing my paperwork. Who's this guy? Face off so I can see his face. Get the cops over here. Call the cops over here. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
They know me.
I don't care who. I want to see who you are. Take off that. Take your face off. So I want to see who you are.
No.
Well, who are you to come in recording me when I'm doing business in here? Okay, I want to know who you are. Pop this stuff off his face. You don't have no right doing it, not unless you're part of that.
The reason here is public.
For a reason.
I know. That's
No, but once again, watch what I just said now.
All right, sir.
I'm in here conducting business. Something here with a
You heard
ski
this
mask.
movie.
This is a criminal right here. Coming in with a ski mask. Okay, and what you afraid of?
I've been here before, sir.
Well, if you've
You're
been
gonna
here
learn
before,
the
I wanna see
law.
who you are.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson today.
What's that?
You're gonna get taught a lesson on the First Amendment.
I don't. You're supposed to show your face. The reason you're disguising yourself is the reason for that. Okay? Terrorizing. You're a terrorist. This is a terrorist right here. I got him on video. Camera. Okay, look at what he's got on. I'm over here at the metro station. And we're dealing with to videotape without showing his face. So this must be legally okay at metro station, right? Seeing that when I'm doing business here, and you start to recording while I'm doing business. Who is this guy is right here? Recording with a mask on, and you allow that to happen. So what is that? That means you must work for you guys, right? Who this guy is? Who this guy is right here? It's the quiet storm here now? What's going on here? Who is this guy?
It's hilarious how the people who have the biggest problem with cameras are always the ones who actively engage and make themselves the center of attention. If you're really afraid of being filmed in public, why not just ignore it and walk away? Instead, they turn themselves into a spectacle, acting rude and irrational, all because they don't understand the law or the basic rights protected by the Constitution.
I'm asking a question. I'm asking some questions. Nobody didn't say that. Who this guy you sent in here to video record me with a mask on? Video record you guys with a freaking mask on. I can do the same damn thing too. Makes sense? That's on your face. Okay? So,
He didn't supervise that.
I'm asking a question. Yeah,
All right, well, supervisor will answer all that.
So that means, this question I'm asking, who is the person that allowed a person to come in and video record another person?
That's something my supervisor will answer.
That means I'm gonna show this to the feds. And I'm gonna show this, you ain't got no balls. Okay, but that's why you have your face. I show my face, I'm not afraid of you. I'm out of here because I feel that I'm getting harassed, discriminated against. Okay? And whoever sent you here must be all affiliated. Because nobody did answer my questions. Okay? Look at it. They're all connected. Look at it. Okay? Okay? So I'm trying to figure out who this guy is right here. I'm over here doing paperwork over there. Now who's this guy right here that you sent over here? Well, he didn't have no mask on. So, why? Are you gonna let a person come in with nothing on? I think so. I really think so.
Was he recording you?
Well, he recorded me when I was just like your people doing this.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so. Show his face.
So he was recording.
How you supposed to do that?
What are you doing? He's lying. I was recording all around.
Yes, you were.
You were doing what?
Recording all around. This is public. I can record anything I see.
Okay, well, we need to see your face. Now, you don't know who you are. I'm doing paperwork over here. You come when you start recording me. I find that uncomfortable.
All right, we'll go talk over here.
You were allowed to record.
Yeah.
As long as you're not causing a disturbance. I don't have a problem with it.
Yes, you are.
You are causing a disturbance. All right? He's not feeling comfortable around you. He says that you were recording over his shoulder.
Recording everyone. It doesn't matter because I'm recording everyone.
So you weren't recording him?
No.
Specifically. So like I said, I can't stop from recording. You're
Yeah.
allowed to record as much as you want. I'm okay with it. Don't cause a disturbance. Don't get into people's face. Other than that, we're good. Do me a favor. Don't block the entrance. If you want to record, stay in the corner. Any particular reason why you're wearing a mask?
Yeah, what's your
Just ask him. Just
No, it doesn't have to do nothing with it.
Are you just wearing a mask just because?
Yeah.
Right, so it's going to create problems.
Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me learn the First Amendment. You were taught on the First Amendment.
Ooh, yet another situation proving how important it is to know your rights, right? Darren clearly isn't familiar with the First Amendment, so he ends up becoming the main disruptor in this office. The security officer did the right thing by not interfering with the citizens' constitutional rights. However, there's one point I disagree with. Simply filming cannot be considered disorderly conduct. The only one causing a disturbance here was Darren, a man who doesn't understand the law. Well, it's amazing how a simple camera can trigger such extreme reactions. But this is what happens when people forget that the law isn't based on feelings. Do you think today's officers learned their lesson? Or will they keep making the same mistakes? Drop a comment. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because defending civil rights has never been more important.